Hi and welcome to the Running Channel monthly show for June, brought to you by our friends at Wiggle.
Here's what's coming up.
June's been a super busy month for new launches, so let's get stuck in.
There have been lots of updates to flagship shoes this month. Asics have updated their Gel Keano model with the 28th iteration of this shoe. The biggest update is the shoe now has FF Blast cushioning. So that's the one that we've previously seen in the Nova Blast model. So this update aims to give the shoe a more stable and responsive ride.
Next up, Hoka have released their newest model in the Clifton range, the Clifton 8s. Hoka say they've kept what people love and updated what they didn't. So if you thought the 7s weren't quite right, then check out these updates. One thing I think Hoka have definitely got right with these is the funky colorways. If neon is your bag, then the Fiesta and blazing orange ones will look great on your feet this summer.
And then finally, Adidas have launched the Adizero Boston 10 and Adizero Adios Pro 2. The Boston 10s are a lightweight, everyday training shoe with carbon-infused rods and a full continental rubber outsole. The Adios Pros are built to break records, and marginal improvements have been made from the previous version from athlete feedback. And as well as the updates to previous models, Adidas have also launched the new 4D Forward, a 3D printed shoe. It's taken over 4 years to develop this 4D lattice midsole, which replaces the traditional foam midsoles that you'd usually see in running shoes, and it's designed to compress forwards under loading.
Trail shoes next, and Arc'teryx have launched the Norvan SL2, a super lightweight trail racing shoe. The Vibram Mega Grip outsole has been shed of any extra weight, plus the upper has been redesigned to minimise friction, and there's a new collar to the shoe to stop any debris getting in there. Nothing worse than a tiny stone in your shoe, is there? If you're looking for a lightweight shoe to hit the trails this summer, then this is a great option.
On to apparel now, and Adidas launched their Stay in Play campaign this month. I am a huge fan of what they're doing with this. So their range is designed to help keep young menstruators in sport and not to drop out because their period causes embarrassment or discomfort through leakage when exercising. So I took the shorts out for a test on my long run yesterday, in fact, and they are so comfortable. For anyone who also has thick thighs like me, they are long enough to prevent chafe and also stay put. We spoke to Dr. Georgie Bruinvels, an expert in female athletes, about the products.
We know that girls through puberty drop out from sport at twice the rate of boys, and on average 1 in 4 girls drop out from sport, with one of the primary reasons being the physical impacts of puberty, and obviously menstruation is one of the key parts, and the fear of leaking, flooding, etc. The other thing with these, like, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like the inner layers are really subtle, so it's not even like someone will see. And also they help in terms of like they don't smell or anything either. And I think that is going to make such a difference.
Stella Run has also announced a sustainable range launching in autumn, including a made-to-be remade crop tee and leggings, which can be completely reused. So the idea is you wear the item for as long as you want, and then you scan the QR code on its label and give it back to be made into something new.
Great.
Genius.
There's also been a few updates to the Strava app. Firstly, the Maps tab now lets you find new routes in your area, create segments, and a load more to make it more useful to users. They're also rolling out group challenges, so you can create a challenge based on time, distance, speed, or elevation game with up to 25 people now over one discipline or multiple disciplines. Both these updates are available to subscribers, but if you want to give group challenges a try, you can do 3 for free before being asked to subscribe. Sarah's got the rest of the tech updates for the month.
So if you are a lover of technology, then this has been a great month. First product that I want to talk about is Garmin's brand new Forerunner 55 watch. Now, we actually did a full video looking at the daily suggested workouts feature on this watch, so definitely go check that one out if you haven't already. A few questions that we've been asked on that video include whether you have to add a goal in order to start using the watch, and nope, you can either go on a 20-minute run or pull through your historical data when setting up the watch in order to start using that feature straight away, and the watch will constantly try to improve your fitness. Another question people asked is what happens if you miss a day? Well, don't worry, the watch will either give you that a suggestion the day after, or it will readjust depending on other life factors as well. And if you ignore a suggested workout and do a different run instead, a race or just a different workout that you want to do, then it will reevaluate your suggestions for the next day as well. Also new in the world of watches is Sunto's new 9 Peak watch. It's their thinnest, smallest and toughest watch that they've ever brought out. It looks beautiful, really nice sleek design, and one thing that caught my eye is that it can get back up to 100% battery in 1 hour. Pretty cool if you've forgotten to charge your watch, like I quite often do, and you've got a race or a big day on the trails coming up and you've only got an hour spare before you need to head out the door. Final product that I want to talk about is Jaybird's new Vista 2 headphones, an update from the Jaybird Vistas. They look very similar, so don't worry if you're besotted with your Jaybird Vista headphones. They haven't changed that much, but all of the improvements are really good. It's got a really nice windproof material on the back, which helps to improve phone calls, and the sound quality from the updates to these headphones are amazing. I plugged them in straight away, didn't fiddle with anything to do with the sound in the app, and already the sound quality was so much more improved compared to the other ones, and the quality of listening to voices for watching TV or listening to a podcast is amazing.
On to running news for June now, and this month saw a group of 6 runners from the Black Trail Runners group tackle the Ramsey Round in Scotland. So leading the pack was ultra runner Sabrina Pace-Humphreys, who was inspired to take it on after finding out that the original round was created by a black Scottish man, Charlie Ramsey. So their goal for this challenge was to encourage more diversity out on the trails. And we were lucky enough to follow the team around and capture their efforts on camera. So stay tuned to the running channel for the video from that trip.
2 days after Dutch runner Sifan Hassan broke the women's 10,000 metre world record with a time of 29 minutes 6.82 seconds, her Ethiopian rival Letesenbet Gide shaved another few seconds off, running a staggering 29 minutes 1.03 seconds. Wow.
Rapide. It's bad news for international runners who are hoping to run the Tokyo Marathon this year. After it went ahead only for elites last year due to COVID, organisers have confirmed that runners from outside of Japan won't be able to run it this year either because of ongoing border restrictions in Japan. So anyone who deferred their place to this year instead of next will now be able to run it in 2023.
A British ultra runner has broken the backyard ultra world record. John Stocker from Oxfordshire ran more than 337 miles in 81 hours at the Suffolk Backyard Ultra earlier this month. The race sees runners competing a 4.167 mile lap every hour until they can't carry on any longer. You get knocked out if you're not back at the start line in time for the next loop.
Fancy that one?
No.
Let us know if there are any running news stories that you think we should feature in our next monthly show. Next up, over to our pal Manni in the Physio Room to answer your questions all about running injuries. And this month, he's tackling the hotly debated topic of foot strike.
Welcome to the Physio Room with me, Manni Ovola, the Running Channel's resident physiotherapist. In this episode, I'll be answering your running questions about injuries, strength training, and more. If there's a specific injury you're struggling with, then please book a consultation with a medical professional, as we can't diagnose your individual problems. However, there are loads of injuries that we can discuss and hopefully help you with. Our question today concerns running technique. As your foot touches the ground, is it bad to completely run on your toes? I used to be a heel runner, but have always been told to run on your toes going uphill, and now tend to run on my toes regardless of the incline. So, foot strike. Foot strike is all about how your foot interacts with the ground. There is no one correct foot strike. What we need to remember, foot strike is a movement, okay? And everyone has different movements. During foot strike, your foot will land with the ground, and the things we look at are your pronation. So as your foot is hitting the ground, the inside of your foot starts to roll through, and as it rolls through, it propels you forward, okay? And the opposite movement is supination. That movement happens just as you hit the ground. It's a very quick movement. What we know is that everybody is different. I would suggest our foot strike is just like a fingerprint. Everybody has a different amount of movement during the foot strike. We do know shoes can affect your foot strike. So if you have a shoe with less support, your foot strike may be quicker and your pronation speed may be quicker. If you have a shoe with more support, it has more foam, and this foam, it reduces your pronation speed. It acts like a buffer, and that can be important sometimes if you have an injury. When you run over a long distance and time, your foot strike may change, and that's okay. Additionally, if you run on a specific terrain, if it's soft or hard, that may influence your foot strike. Your foot strike needs to be something that's comfortable for you. Just remember the fingerprint analogy. If you're running uphill, you may find that actually to propel you uphill, you are on your toes. If you're running downhill, you may find your foot is flatter to the ground. That's because the velocity and speed that your foot is striking the ground will be faster, and you want to help control that, so you will need a larger surface area. Foot strike needs training. Quite regularly running uphill will build your calf muscles and build your leg muscles. Along with that, we can use strength exercises. So, you know, here at the Running Channel, we've got some. We've got the calf workout, which will build the muscles close to your ankle. But the other thing we have to think about is what happens higher up. And if you can drive with the muscles from your hips, along with the muscles in your calf, that will all help your running.
Cheers, Manni. If you have a question that you would like to be answered in next month's Physio Room, email physio@therunningchannel.com. Stay tuned because we still have loads coming up for you, including all of this.
I think my recovery techniques are things that are underrated and underutilized.
Is my back bleeding?
God, those questions are hard.
So Rick, I know you're really missing running, and Challenge Rick each month is actually the only thing keeping you going right now, isn't it?
Not strictly true.
Well, personally, I think the meditation one that we did last month was far too easy and painless. So this time, I want you to try out something that I've seen knocking around for a while now, but I've been too chicken to try it myself. It's called a Shakti mat. Did you know what that was?
Nope, I didn't have a clue.
Are you glad you know what it is now?
Can I tell you afterwards?
Yeah, okay. Let's see how you got on with this one then.
Yet again, it's time for me to be put to the test for another Challenge Rick. Ooh, text message, expertly timed to arrive exactly 10 seconds after I hit record. So, what does it say? Rick, this month, the Running Channel community wants you to test out the Shakti mat. It's a daily self-care tool based on the Indian bed of nails, which is actually supposed to help you with relaxation, better sleep, mental clarity, and all-round well-being. Give it a go and let us know what you think. The Indian bed of nails and relaxation in the same sentence. So one bit of advice when starting out on the Shakti mat was to either put a thin piece of cotton, a pillowcase, or maybe just wear a thin t-shirt, a little bit like my Running Channel t-shirt. However, if you're a little bit more hardcore, as you might say, the idea is to go straight in, flesh to spike. this could be tricky. So I've got to line up the back of my bum to the edge of the mat, and then put my feet flat on the ground, and then slowly shuffling back on to the spikes. I'm supposed to be taking big, long, deep breaths, but I'm finding short, faster ones are slightly easier. Okay, I am lying on an Indian bed of nails. My gosh, it feels like it as well. I think the chances of me lasting 20 minutes on this are about as likely as the UK winning the Eurovision Song Contest. If you don't know what the Eurovision Song Contest is, look it up. We don't win it. Is my back bleeding? As the acutherapy begins to soothe me down, I can also tell you that the plastic in the spikes is made out of the Lego that they use in kids' toys. Whew. The idea is to get it right into the neck. The pain is actually beginning to fade quite a bit. Beginning to feel more calm, although I don't know how much my back is bleeding, if it's bleeding. I'm not beginning to feel much, actually. Okay, I'm going to come up now after 12 minutes. I'm going to come up and rejoin the world. So in order to get up, the idea is that we put pressure on our arms here. Come up nice and slowly. Keeping the back straight. Is my back bleeding? Yeah, they are sharp. They really are sharp. It's basically acupuncture.
Okay.
But
without needles, though.
Well, I mean, there are hundreds of them and you lie in them.
Yeah.
I've been using it every night. So I filmed that about 3-4 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I've done 20 nights on it now, every night before bed. What? I fell asleep on it one night and Chantal had to wake me up on the mat.
Wow.
I mean, I may have had a couple of glasses of Pinot Grigio.
Of course you did.
But I did fall asleep in it.
Oh.
I'm finding it amazing.
Okay. It's so funny because this does sound like an advert for the mat. You loved it so much, but it's just really important to say that we're not actually paid by the brand to say nice things about this. So
no, not at all.
No, there you go.
I don't like the colour of it. Next up, it's your questions in Ask TRC.
I've absolutely loved going through your questions this month. Don't forget, if you would like your question answered next month, email it to asktrc@therunningchannel.com. So first up, Juliana wants to know if we do any type of strength training to help with running. This is such a good question because as runners, we know we should do strength training. But it often gets neglected, so we've got more time to run. Yeah. So I actually went and spent some time with a strength and conditioning coach this month as part of the Quarantine to Qualifier series on the channel. And I learned so much from him. So episode 3 of the series is going to go into loads more detail about the kind of stuff that I've been set to do. Now, Rick, I know that since your injury and from chatting to Manni about it afterwards, that you actually didn't used to do anything but running and maybe regret that a little bit now?
Oh, more than a little. I completely regret it. I never did any strength training at all. Now, I'm using strength training to actually get back walking properly as well as running. I now probably in the future will do 50-50. So any time that I'm going to go out for a run, I'll make sure I do some strength training as well. So it's split very equally. I mean, I've found that working on your quads, the importance of having strong quads as a runner And to be honest with you, if you're a long distance walker as well, it's massive, and it can also take so much pressure off your knees and your joints. And I feel like the light bulb has come on in my head. Yeah,
it's a shame that it takes something as severe as your injury to do that. So for anyone who's watching who doesn't do strength training at the moment, take heed of Rick's advice.
The next question comes from Amelia Slemp, who's just signed up for her first 50k. That's amazing. She wants to get some tips on natural alternatives to gels and homemade ways to get your electrolytes.
Wow, we just did a video on electrolytes, didn't we? So the ones that we featured in the video, they're not homemade, but a lot are made from all natural ingredients, and a couple that are used include coconut water and Himalayan rock salt. Honey, dates, peanut butter, they're all really good sources of energy in place of gels. So I feel like maybe we ought to do some kind of bake-off style video on homemade like energy gels. What do you reckon, Rick? I think that's something I might finally be able to beat you at.
You made something pretty revolting for me once.
Oh yeah, I know, that's because I stitched you up.
I'm not that good in the kitchen, to be honest. And the last question this month comes from Sonwa Beal, who wants to know how you stick to a running plan despite work interruptions. Okay, first tip, run in the morning if you can. Or if you're a shift worker, then whenever you start your day. That way, if you have an unexpectedly long day at work, or have a particularly long and tiring day and you don't feel like running afterwards, you've already got out and nailed that run. It is also a great way to set yourself up for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually got a video about how to fit in runs when you're short on time. We filmed that one ages ago, Rick. If that is the issue that you've got. So being clever with the types of run that you're doing to get more bang for your buck could be a useful tip. So things like doing fartleks or run commutes, or you could do a short interval session on a lunch break. So something like a 7-minute warm up, 4 by 3 minutes at a hard tempo pace with 1 minute easy jog recovery, then a 7-minute warm down jog back to work.
We've talked a lot about strength and conditioning today. And if you're going to do that first thing in the morning as well.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put that off to the end of the day, because that's kind of the stuff that you don't want to be doing. We all get excited about going out for a run, and clearing our mind, but the strength and conditioning work, try and get that in. Anyway, that's all for now. But if you have a burning question for the team, then make sure you drop it in the comments or email asktrc@therunningchannel.com, and it could feature in our next show.
Next up, it is the Treadmill Challenge with Zwift. And this month, it is time for Hoka One athlete Carla Molinaro. And fair play to her on this one, Rick. She came in and did this mere days after winning a 125-kilometre ultra race, you know. Unreal.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1... go. First question, what is the northernmost marathon in the world?
Tronsmo?
Incorrect, put the speeder. Second question, in 1978, Nike introduced the first women-specific running shoe. What was it called?
Who invented it?
Nike.
Pegasus?
No, incorrect. Put the speeder. Question number 3. What did runners use as an energy drink in Victorian times?
Beetroot.
No, incorrect. Champagne. It's a rogue one. So, what is the world record time for running a half marathon backwards?
Oh, God. 1 hour 34.
Oh, I'll give you that. It's 1 hour 40. Close enough. What is the slowest Olympic marathon time on record?
4 hours 20.
Incorrect. Put the speeder. Next question. How many hurdles are in a standard hurdles race?
11?
No, 10. Put the speeder.
I thought that was a trick.
So who once ran a total of 27,011 kilometres within one single year?
Oh God.
Running out of time. Incorrect. Put the speed up. Who ran the first marathon in space?
Tim Peake.
Correct.
Yes.
How long is the exchange zone in a relay race?
20 meters.
Correct. How many muscles do you use every time you take a step?
100.
No, incorrect. Put the speed up. What does IAAF stand for?
International Amateur Athletics Federation.
No, incorrect. Put the speed up. How many days would it take to run the distance around the planet if you ran 12 miles every day?
2.5 years.
No, incorrect. Put the speed up. What did Melissa Moon borrow for the 2003 World Mountain Running Championships, which she won?
What did she borrow? Poles?
Yeah. No, incorrect. It was shoes. So the oldest US indoor marathon, the Zoom Yaya, requires contestants to run 26.2 miles on a track whilst doing what every 30 minutes?
Drinking beer.
No, incorrect. Put the speed up.
I'm done. God, those questions are hard.
What an unbelievable performance there from Carla. 3 minutes and 26 seconds, putting her in a very respectable 3rd place.
And knocking me out the medals.
You're off the medals.
Boo. Finally, it's over to our miles and kilometres segment, where we ask some quick fire running questions to get to know some of our running pals a little bit better. And this month, Running Channel presenter Manni Ovola is in the hot seat.
Hi, my name is Manni Ovola and I am the resident physiotherapist at the Running Channel and avid runner. Kilometres. It's just moved to breaking down my sessions and training into smaller chunks, and I find it easier to kind of keep track of where I am, how I'm training and my energy. So yeah, I do listen to music. It all depends on when I'm running or what type of run I'm doing. So if I'm doing a fast tempo run or a speed session, I'll listen to some rap music. Also like Afro beats. I find the music builds intensity and helps with my cadence, and I can pick up my legs and train faster. So yeah, it's all about creating that intensity and mood. If I'm going for an easy run though, I can listen to podcasts, but also audiobooks. So one audiobook I'd recommend is Originals by Adam Grant, and the one previously that I listened to was Superior by Angela Saini. I measure in time because I think that it stays the same. Your fitness changes, and as your fitness changes, the distance you cover will change over the given time. So I always measure in time, and I think it's really useful because in your mind you know that you've got that time blocked out in your day for you. I think my recovery techniques are things that are underrated and underutilized. So sleep is really, really important, and your nutrition. So ensuring you get as much protein as possible for your body weight and carbohydrates. Those are my key recovery tools. And yeah, just maintaining those over time can be difficult. So I just really focus in on those two things. So I am training for London Marathon, October 3rd, and the aim is to run 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is very fast and a big PB for me. So we'll see. Well, 2020 obviously was tough for everybody, and running is my outlet. So I used it as a form of meditation. I got out really early and used it to set my day and set my plans. And it really gave me rhythm and allowed me to find time for myself. And it was just something that was important to me in 2020 and always will be, I think. We all here at the Running Channel are mad about running, and I'm no different. So I would say motivation for me is all about knowing how good I feel after, and it's peace of mind. So yeah, I use it as meditation. I've got a couple. I think the more recent one is in 2019 when I ran London Marathon and I got a big PB, and I ran it in 2 hours and 50 minutes, and that was really exciting and I really enjoyed it, and it was a great memory because all my friends were there and my family came, and I really enjoyed that. Well, I would probably say there would be two things I would do. I do love climbing. Again, for the meditation, you can get into a really good flow state. Apparently, climbing is one of the most meditative sports in the world, according to some science. So that's what I would do. But secondly, I need to also do things with power. So I would do a CrossFit. I think CrossFit is one sport I'd love to do. Simply because I like how you move your body and the power elements of the sport and lifting heavy weights.
A 2 hour 30-minute marathon goal from Manni there. I ran my first half marathon in that time. That is incredible. Go get it, Manni.
That actually does blow my mind. Don't forget, you can win a voucher to spend at show sponsors Wiggle by answering a question about this episode. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on the Running Channel.